Happy day, friends. We're gonna do a pick a pile. You'll want to pause the video after I get done explaining, and then pick out whichever card you feel most drawn to, okay? This pick a pile is going to be, what is your hidden superpower? So if you feel most drawn to this Spirit of the Earth Native Spirit card, then you will be in pile number 1. If you feel most drawn to this, the Initiation card from the Work Your Lights Oracle deck, then you will be pile number 2. And if you are feeling most drawn to this Horseman Herald of Change card from the Shaman Dreams Oracle deck, then you will be pile number 3. Pause now, weigh out your options, okay? And then pick up. But for now, let's get into pile number 1. So pile number 1, I'm gonna go ahead and put this Spirit of the Earth card just off to the side. Let's see, what is your hidden superpower? So pile number 1, right off the back, I'm getting that your abundance, even with the Answer the Calling card being stuck at the bottom of the deck, your abundance rests pretty heavily in healing and in being a beautiful, and this is gonna sound so but that's just who I am as a person. I'm sorry. Your hidden superpower is in being a very beautiful person in and out, through and through, and allowing people to see that despite what you've been through and despite where you've been, despite the trials and tribulations that you had to experience to get to this place of being a very beautiful person, that it's still possible to do that. You're also meant to heal people with the knowledge that you've learned, and through the things that you've picked up along the way in learning to survive. Even with the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles coming out, there's a story in the Bible. I don't know what story, y'all. I'm devout in my relationship with God, but I'm not devoutly Christian, but I'm kind of well versed in the Bible. But anyway, there's a story in there somewhere about, was it Peter? I don't know. Anyway, where essentially God was telling some man in the Bible, I'm a tarot reader, don't put too much on me, to feed my sheep. And I remember the first time I heard that, I was actually asleep listening to some healing shit in the background. But your purpose, pile number 1, your hidden superpower, is being able to still be one solid, beautiful fucking person, despite everything that you've been through, despite the disasters in your life, despite the pile-ups, the stresses, and so on and so forth. And you are meant to harness that light, never lose that light, and shine it on others and teach others how to really kind of stand firm and stay strong as well. And it may not even be as deep as teaching for some of you. I feel that it could, especially if this information resonates with you. I definitely do feel that it could, but it's up to you how. And just make sure that you continue to be a light, to be beautiful, and to know that no matter what, because you are a beautiful person and because you have people's best interests at heart, that you'll always be blessed. Abundance will never be too far away from you, okay? So, Panda Boundaries and Hippopotamus Exploration. If you've become bored with your life, you have the creative power to stir things up and revitalize everything. You can do things by starting new projects, setting new goals, and making new spiritual connections. Your space is sacred. Guests who overstay their welcome impact your aura, and you have every right to stand your ground. Your needs are important, and you must nurture your soul with the same gentle love and support you offer to others. Now, with every superpower, we all have a kryptonite, right? Pile number 1 for you, there is a need to make sure that you're consistently very, very mindful of overgiving, oversharing, overloving, and just giving too much of your power away to others at any given time, especially since yours rests in nurturing and loving others, all right? So that's what I have, pile number 1. If you would like to book personal reading, tap in. Link in bio. Love you, bye. All right, pile number 2. So we have the initiation. Rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So we'll leave that card there since that is the one that made you pick out your pile. But let's see. What are we getting for hidden superpowers for you, pile number 2? Now, I realized while I was reading through pile number 1 that I am also going to tell you what I think your kryptonite is and how you can avoid, losing that power, okay? Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms and awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Your guidance is divinely guided. Your superpower, and it almost feels a little cliche to me to tell you that, but I'm going to tell you anyway because that's the way that the message came out here, pile number 2. Your superpower is that God chose you to do what you came to do, and only you can do it that way. Oh God, and it sounds so cliche. I never wanted to say anything like that out loud, pile number 2, but there is a calling on your life, okay? I can hear, I've never just said that to anybody. I've never said that to anybody. And even for me, like, it feels a little cringe because it reminds me of, like, fake prophets at church. But not that I think they all are. God really does give gifts out here, friends. For real. But that's just what it's giving. You have a calling on your life. And this calling that you have on your life is for purpose. And so no one can take that away from you. I feel that in your life, pile number 2, there have been a lot of things that have kind of been thrown at you or just given to you, and you've had to learn how to navigate through those things. That's not coincidental. The type of career you work in, the type of family that you were born into, so on and so forth, that Source really did put you there because your being, your essence, your presence is the thing that for a lot of people, pile number 2, you existing in someone's life is going to give them the ability to make firm decisions, to move forward and be more successful. I feel like one of the things that you've probably noticed, pile number 2, is that when you come into people's lives or when you cross paths with people, when you leave them, they're always better off than they were before. That's your superpower. You are meant to, and for some of you, you may have experienced an abundance of loss. You frequently connect with people, not just romantically, but friends and family and so on and so forth, where in these connections, you at some point always have to set those people free, or you frequently have to set people free or just like close them out because you've done everything that you can do for those people, and that's your purpose. Like I said, that for all of you with the superpowers, and for you, pile number 2, with you being a blessed presence in people's lives and just the way that you exist, even if you don't know, even if people have not made you aware to how you are changing and transforming their lives, you do. You do. And you always have. The Bobcat teaches you that there is true power and strength in silence and patience in order to get what you want. You must be willing to plan, adapt, and above all, have the patience to see your dreams manifest. Now, for those of you where you have goals and it feels like the things that you really want to do, you're not getting to, that you keep being given these assignments to water other people, make sure that you're really kind of paying attention to how you're pouring into others. As a life coach, One thing that people will do as kind of like an avoidant coping mechanism is they will pour a lot of time, attention, and energy into other people. These people didn't ask, they didn't pay you, they didn't need you to. Like, nothing happened to really require you to have to show up like this, but you chose to, right? And then they do that because if I'm focusing on bettering other people, I'm hopeful that when they're better, they will help. Or I'm hopeful that when they're better, they're going to love me and support me and be present in my life. And so you got to know when to pour those same things into yourself as well. It's a reminder not to take things too seriously and bring more balance between wisdom and playfulness. You might need to lighten up about the matter that has been on your mind for a while, and then freedom. I think that it's important for you to remember, my friends, that even though you have this calling on your life, and even though your presence is meant to bless others and help to elevate them just by you being there, you ain't got to overextend, you ain't got to overgive, you just got to keep existing, friends. That you got to know when to take care of you. You got to know when to pour into you. So that's what I have, pile number 2. If you would like to book a personal reading, link is in bio. Love you, bye. It's pile number 3. Oh, why did I turn that card around? So we got Horseman, Herald of Change. We're going to put that off to the side since that is the card that drew you to this pile. Let's see. What is your hidden superpower? Radical acceptance. Protecting the future. Okay. So pile number 3, it's very much giving that your hidden superpower, whether you believe it or not, whether you realize it or not, is that you are very capable of adapting to situations and going with the flow, right? So if something is some way on Tuesday and then on Wednesday you wake up and you find out it's not going to be that way no more. You're not going to be in this place. You're not going to be with these people no more. Things are changing. Whether you got to figure it out or whether you're told what the next steps are, you always figure it out. You know, I'm not saying that you don't ever have emotional responses to things or anything like that, but I feel, pile number 3, that when it's time for shit to change, you will change, you will adapt, you will grow. And that is your hidden superpower. Some of you may say really negative things about yourself, where you may feel that you're unstable, you feel that you don't care about anything, you feel that there's something wrong with you, because when things do change, you just find the strength to move forward instead of fighting consistently for those things. I promise you, friend, it's a superpower to be able to walk away. In my personal readings, anytime I encounter a client who tells me they've had like these fucked up things happen and change, I said I was not gonna cuss for this pick a pile, but here we are. Where they've had like some of these really significant changes go on, and I'm alone, I'm single, or I left the job, or I did this, I did that. The first thing I tell them is, I'm proud of you. You are one of those people, pile number 3, that I just know that if you told me your story and you told me about some of the things that you've overcome and some of the things that you've been able to move forward to, even if you're not quite where you're hoping to go in your life, and a part of you like feels guilty, because even for me, I stand on business, big business, every time. I was just talking to my cousin, I asked him a question about like some ancestral stuff about our grandmother. And he's just like, your dad said he loves you. I love my daddy too, but I haven't talked to him. We haven't had a full-blown conversation in almost 2 years because I can't handle his substance abuse, and I know that I'm not required to do so. You think that shit doesn't make me feel like a hard ass? Like, it doesn't make me question if I'm taking healing and peace too seriously? Like, certainly you could, the other day I said, certainly you could sacrifice a little peace. There's something about you, pile number 3, where you wonder, like, am I wrong here? Am I doing this wrong? Am I going about this wrong? Should I have done this differently? Should I have given this another chance? Should I circle back to? No. Your superpower is being able to embrace life as it comes and keep moving forward. If anything, since you have so much strength and you have so much oomph about you, you got that go-getter spirit, the thing that people pray for, then you should kick shit up a notch and not just accept things as they change and be willing to do what it takes to get yourself to where you need to be. Shoot further, shoot higher, reach higher, go for bigger things, go for bigger goals. It's your superpower. You don't just adapt to negative things, you adapt to better environments and better circumstances. So, like I told the other piles, pile number 3, where we have a superpower, we all have our kryptonite, and yours is in control. Now, while you may be capable of accepting things and adapting to things, it could, for some of you, take a little while to get there. But embrace control, okay? If you have moderate aggressive impulses, this is an invitation to control your temper. You are encouraged to explore how to express your needs or thoughts more openly and constructively to reduce your level of frustration. That goes very well with the Queen of Swords. But just really working on your approach. And while it's okay to be a hard ass and set goals and set boundaries and things like that, focus just as heavily as you do on standing on business and changing and growing and evolving. Focus some of that energy on having a good time and just surrendering to the flow of life. Like I said, some of you need to give yourself permission to play, permission to be better, permission to be bigger, permission to do more. That's what I got, pile number 3. If you like this, let me know. I can do more pick a piles. I used to do them all the time before I started doing general readings. That's what I got, friends. Love you.